Today we're going to be repotting the Fiddle Leaf Fig. Let me show you how I do it. Now I like to do this every 1 to 2 years or when the roots are coming out of the bottom drainage holes. I always like to squeeze the sides of the pot first to loosen up the soil from the sides of the pot so that we can slide out very easily. Put that aside. The next thing I'm going to do is kind of get off all of these things that the owner has put on here to keep it upright. We'll set all of them aside. And I'm just going to take off some of this old soil. Again, this isn't the most important part of the repot, but I do like to get in there and at least kind of check in on the roots a little bit. We always assess the health. I mean, when you got the plant out of the pot anyway, you might as well assess the health of the roots, right? And these roots are looking nice and fine and healthy. So now it's time to go into the next pot size and how we determine that. How I like to determine that, whenever I have a plant that's being kept indoors, I like to keep them in tighter pots. And that's because when we have a plant indoors, it's not subject to the elements, the wind, the light, the extra heat that's going to evaporate water very, very quickly. So we give the roots a little bit of a head start by just keeping them in a tighter pot. That means they don't have to do as much work. If I put this in a giant pot with a whole bunch of soil all around it, it's gonna have a hard time processing all of that soil before we get root rot, right? So we're just gonna help it out a little bit by keeping it in a tighter pot. All right, I grabbed a couple of new pot sizes right here so I can explain to you guys how it's working. Remember, this is the pot size that we were in, okay? And so you can see in comparison, not much larger on that one, a little bit larger on that one. So let me explain to you kind of what's going on, and I'm gonna show you in comparison for the root ball as well. So this is how much different room we would have with this root ball. On this one right here, I would estimate we've got about 2 inches on the interior of the pot. So the difference is the plant, if I put the plant in this, it's just going to have 1 inch on the outer layer to process all of that water. Remember, the soil is going to take up that water. That's where the roots are pulling all the water from. So it's only going to have 1 inch of water really to process, and it's going to be able to do that much faster than right here. So I'm actually going to be using this pot. I'm just going to go up 1 pot size with this plant. Remember to always have drainage holes, super important. Now for my soil today, I'm using the Fiddle Leaf Fig and Ficus Imperial Potting Soil Mix. It's a long name. Let me show you right here. This is from repotme.com. You can see all their kind of little stuff that's going on right there. It's beautiful. They have tons of soils. They have soils for every houseplant that you could want, succulents, orchids, cactus, a bunch of different types of soil mixtures. They come pre-mixed. They're just a perfect blend for your houseplants. That's why I like using them. They're super high quality. They'll ship right to your door, all of the great things. And that's what we're using here today. Let me grab a little scoop here. Now I'm just gonna be filling the bottom portion with a couple inches of soil right there. And really what I want to do is get this is where the soil was. So I want this height right here to match up to this part right here, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch below the total rim of the pot right here. So that's what I'm kind of, that's what I'm kind of testing right here. I think I got it just right on the very first guess. Hey, look at me, I'm living right today. Okay, let me get some more soil in my scoop and then we'll start to backfill. Wonderful, wonderful. I love it when a plan works out. I'm just gonna center this up right here. And now we will backfill. I'm gonna work it in all in and around the root ball that we have going on. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a nice and easy repot. It's a good idea to refresh your soil every once in a while, folks. All right, 1 more scoop and I think that will do the trick for us. Slap that pot. I'm not gonna forget, I'm doing it. How long can we go? Just kidding. Okay, we do that. Remember, you guys know, let me know in the comments why we do that. I'm gonna let you guys tell everybody in the comments why we do that. If you're new here, that's where you gotta check. We're looking a little bit good. My soil level went high, but still there's plenty of room for the customer to water the plant in, have the water pool up and sink in. And there you have it, how to repot the Fiddle Leaf Fig. Going forward, I'm gonna recommend this customer put it in bright light, 1,000-foot candles at least, and give it a soak about when it's 25 to 50% dry. When they get this home, I'm going to recommend they give it that full, thorough saturation. Really important right after you do a repot. We'll see you on the next one.